Colonel Peter Mansoor is a senior fellow at the Mershon Center for International Security Studies, and he's a former aide to General David Petraeus. He joins us now live from Columbus, Ohio. Colonel Mansoor, thank you so much for taking this time. It is interesting because Chancellor Merz followed up his comments with saying that this has actually been the case for months, that the policy among European allies has for months allowed for Ukraine to strike deeper into Russia, essentially having no limits at this point as to how far deep it would strike. So given that, how big of a changing position does this allow for Ukraine in terms of not only its defensive position, but also its striking position against Russia?
Well, this would be a big a plus for Ukraine if it's given the weapons that can hit those targets that are attacking its energy infrastructure. You know, in the last 3 days, Russia's launched more than 900 cruise and ballistic missiles and drones at Ukrainian cities. And if Ukraine now has the ability to strike back at those launching facilities, it would be a big boost to its defense. The question is the European nations that have now lifted their range restrictions on Ukrainian use of their weapons, are they providing the weapons necessary that can reach deep into Russia, such as the Taurus missile from Germany?
I guess my question, and perhaps you just don't know in terms of what we're hearing from European sources and Ukrainian sources, but Merz has been saying that this isn't a new policy, that this has in fact been the case for several months. So have we seen any benefits to Ukraine and its positioning if this has in fact been the policy for the last several months? No restrictions on how far it can go into Russian territory.
Well, not that I can tell. If it has the weapons and the range restrictions lifted to reach that deep into Russia, it's certainly not having a huge impact on the Russian capabilities to conduct strategic warfare deep into Ukraine. So, you know, what this may do, though, is put more pressure on Vladimir Putin. It's just another screw to turn to get him to come to the negotiating table saying, look, you know, our patience is at an end, and we're going to start giving Ukraine more wherewithal to attack you.
Yeah, and analysts have been warning that Ukraine's supply of interceptor missiles has been depleting quite quickly, and Russia's missile technology has been advancing. So what is it that Ukraine needs most right now, and who among the allies is best equipped to provide it?
Right. So this is a different question to the one that goes to air defense systems. Ukraine is running out of missile reloads for its air defense systems, such as the Patriot. And it's quite clear those systems primarily come from the United States. So this is really up to the Trump administration to get over its fascination with bringing Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table and creating a deal, which clearly is not going to be in the offing anytime soon, and give Ukraine the wherewithal to defend itself and put pressure on Russia to stop its attacks that you can see in the last 3 days have taken so much loss of lives in Ukraine.
And quickly, I know you're pressed for time. We heard some of the toughest rhetoric from President Trump yet in terms of Russia's actions and Vladimir Putin directly directly implicated by President Trump. What do you make of his comment, President Trump's just moments ago, saying that Putin is playing with fire?
Yeah, now this is really interesting. You know, President Trump thought he could use his relationship with Vladimir Putin to bring him to some sort of peace terms, and that clearly has not happened. Now the question is, will President Trump reverse course and put pressure on Putin by ramping up sanctions, by giving Ukraine more defense systems and missile technology and so forth, and make it clear to Putin that he can't win on the in a military sense, and therefore he needs to start cutting a deal.
Yeah, and the president does have resources to ratchet up that pressure against Vladimir Putin. Thus far, he has not utilized them. Peter Mansoor, thank you for the time.
Thank you.